and gentlemen, boys and girls, king and queens, a very good morning to you on this Tuesday, this cold Tuesday morning. I hope you're all safe. I hope you're all good. Yeah, we have to check on you first. Au sio? I hope mmekuwa mkikeep safe na mko aital tena sana. My name is Ann QT, your host for the day on this Tuesday morning, and I feel like tumemiss mapenzi. Wanasema tumekuwa serious sana, tumekuwa tukiaddress some serious issues, but sasa tumerudi pale kwa mapenzi. Nakwambia huku nje watu wanatusetia standards. Standards are being set out here. Mnatupatia pressure. Magaldem. Bobby atatuaddress vizuri leo. Magaldem, especially wale wako between 19 and 25. Unajika hivi unajiuliza maswali. Mimi niko kazi QT, nalipo mshahara, lakini huku Magaldem wanatupatia pressure ingine noma tena sana. Wameset standards, wana drive zile manyumba zenye wanaishi, zile simu wako nazo. But anyways, we'll be getting down to that. First things first, let me introduce my panel. Karibuni tena sana. Good to see you guys. Mbona na feel ni kama nimewahata mbaya tena sana.
It feels like hatujaonana for a while.
I know, na last week tulikuwa hapa. Something is amiss, eh?
Yeah.
You know what's going on. But welcome, Bobby, as usual.
Thank you. I'm always happy, but there's not much to be happy about in Kenya right now.
Know.
Very devastating state of affairs. Vitu zina happen, zina ni ngumu, ni mbaya, scary. Kenya, sijui niseme nini.
Tutry kuituliza na mapenzi. Wacha tujaribu.
Try kidogo tuone.
Try kidogo. Tuone kama ita work.
Yeah.
HR, good to see you in blue.
Good to see you too. Unajua leo nilikuwa nashindwa kama niamke, nisiamke.
Wewe?
Mimi huchukua paid time off every first week of the month. So hii ni wiki yangu ya kutulia.
Sawa HR.
Rejuvenate ndio tuendelee. Lakini mimi najua kwa nini unafikiria tujaonana for long.
Why?
Itakuwa tunapiga picha Tuesday tunazipata the following Tuesday.
Imagine I just thought about it in the morning and I was like,
a whole week.
Poleni.
Natumia picha zetu ukidunini nazo but sawa.
Watu wa simu za kamera poa. Sahau hizo picha.
CJ, good to see you in blue. Leo ni kama sisi wote tuliamua kuva blue.
Good morning.
Morning.
You're good?
To you, CJ. Thank you.
Yes, good to see you as well.
Good to see you, CJ. Leo unafika mapema.
Oh, I'm always early.
You're always in the car park, by the way.
Yes, I'm always early. But
why.
sometimes, you know, the dropping of my son as well. So sometimes just that little traffic. But today they didn't do me very good, but I'm good.
Yeah,
on a drizzling morning, then I couldn't find parking. Ken had the last one.
Yeah, unfortunately, I took the last parking, but I was very happy.
It's been a busy
Na nikibai gari mtafanyaje sasa? Hey,
sorry Bobby.
Leo najua mambo itachemka hapa kwa studio. Kwanza leo nimengojea Bobby. Bobby ujue leo ni wewe nategemea. Ukijua leo ni wewe nategemea. But anyways guys, we want to talk about true love. Does true love really exist? Do people take time to know each other, to date each other? Ama siku hizi tu ni transactional, like cheki. What can you give me? What can I get from you? And people are okay with that. The most surprising thing is that people are really okay with that. Like, what can you give me? Sawa, wewe unaweza nifanyia nini? Mimi naweza kufanyia nini? Na hiyo ndio kitu I think inapatia mayouth wengi pressure. Zile standards tuna set pale nje. Yaani nakwambia HR tuko huku nje. Mimi yenyewe niko hapa job, lakini nikiangalia social media madem nyumba zenye wanaishi, nguo zenye wanavaa, simu zenye wako nazo, everything that they're doing. And questions are arising. What is happening? What is happening out there? Is there any true love? Ama saizi tukomboka. Acha niseme tu tukomboka, tuko kazi. Tanianze na wewe HR. True love exists.
Yeah, mimi nilikuwa nawishi leo Bobby angeseti tone. Now that we are here.
Bobby najua kummarinate. Acha tummarinate ndio afunguke.
True love exists. But what people don't know is that true love is not a fleeting feeling of infatuation only. There must be three things. You know, it's not just words that were used interchangeably. It's because sometimes men don't know how to be loved. So they can only experience it if they are loved. By the way, men, if you ask men, are you really loved? It is situational. If it is during the cold season and they have somebody to keep them warm, mi ile mapenzi niko nayo inaniua. Yeah, it is situational. But men also must learn how to love so that they can express the same. Women on the other side must know how to respect. And when the two come together, there's something called mutual support that must happen. In true love, mutual support. But you know, true love experiences is not something that will happen today. It's a process and it takes a lot of time. It takes time such that there is also burnout. You know, there is love burnout where you feel like now I'm doing so much alone, I cannot be able to do it anymore. And true love also can end. Love can end and it fades and you say, I no longer love that person because maybe I lost respect for them or they lost love for me or there is no mutual support, it's one-sided. But now what you're talking about standards is where we have to draw the line. In this era of social media, there's a lot of PDA that people are equating to love, but that's not the truth. Just because you see somebody taking pictures in mansions here and there, in cars, always showing us what they are up to, some people are just in fantasy. They live in a place called utopia, a world that never exists. They will go to one shoot with 10 different pieces of clothes. They will change makeup and wigs. Mkona bahati sana watu wa wigs. Change even wigs. And then they will use those photos for the next 10 months. But it was done within one day. They will go to one big mansion and take pictures in different rooms and showcase. But is that really a measure of true love? I don't think so. I think we have a lot to do, especially to convince the age that you have talked about, 19 to 25. It goes all the way to 30, where we call this stage love versus infatuation in psychology. Between 19 and 25, you can always forgive yourself for making mistakes related to love. Yeah, because you are trying every Tom, Dick, and Harry. You are trying everybody who is available. You are trying to see whether you can get the trophy girls and all. But after 26 is when reality will hit you. And you realize that maybe I have living life in the wrong way. Maybe I have been trying to please people by showing off. And then you start learning that in privacy is where true love really exists. In the public out there, that is show off. In privacy is when you can experience true love. Yeah. And
I tend to think that maybe this generation that we have right now, CJ, I don't really know if true love exists. To be really honest, maybe millennials wanaweza sema hao ndio walikuwa the last generation to experience love, maybe Gen X, maybe baby boomers, but these times, the age and times that you're living right now, do you truly believe that true love exists, CJ?
Well, I do. You know, it's only that most of the people we're exposed to will give us a picture of what happens in any generation, but they are not the only picture of what happens. So sometimes we look at what is on display or what is close to us and imagine that's the only thing happening. There are a lot of people out there who are still very grounded in their relationships, first of all with how they relate to themselves, and then how they extend that to the next person. True love can only exist in a place where there's self-awareness and appreciation. Without that, somebody will be driven by the missing parts of their lives, and that is what then they will define as love. If all I ever lacked, for example, was material things, that may be my definition of love, because that's what fills up the missing part. If all I ever missed was just attention, it doesn't matter the quality of it, just attention, you know, then that may look like love to me. There are people whom, if you call them a lot, check on them a lot, they think you love them. It may just be attention that you're giving to them, but that's the missing thing in their lives. There are people who are attracted to the completeness of a family or just a picture because they never saw that as well. So they would really do anything to be seen to be in a relationship. So without the person having the self-awareness and without that person having a self-appreciation, they may find themselves being driven into and drawn into things based on their dysfunctions. And that may not necessarily be love. Just because somebody feeds an area of your dysfunction doesn't mean that they love you. You know, when I give something to somebody who is needy, if I feed the hungry, it doesn't really mean I love the hungry. I've just met a need in them. And people are probably beginning to mistake the meeting of a need to love. Somebody can meet your need without respecting you. And it's good that, you know, Ken talked about the element of respect. I can meet your need without respecting you. I can be feeding you, but I don't treat you as a human being. I can be giving you the clothes that I don't want to use, but I take the worst of them, the shredded ones, and I give them to you because you have no option. And you may actually feel like I'm a good person, but generally my attitude towards what I'm doing is one of nearly mockery or something. So if there is no respect in it, there is no love. For me, love is looking at the other person as a human being and having a genuine appreciation of whom they are and wanting them to become the best version of themselves. That's what I would feel love is. All the other things, you know, they are secondary and tertiary. Whether somebody will get you a car or take you out on holiday, that's very tertiary. I could take you on holiday and abuse you. Right, in that holiday. I could take you, fly you out and never talk to you while we're wherever we are at and not treat you as a human being. So the other thing that then I think about in this is the cliques that we come from, or the group that we come from, or what we are trying to feed with the social media pressure that you're talking about. If everybody around me was a struggler, I may really want to keep the face to show these people that I'm doing well, even when I am breaking and cracking and sinking, because I want to show them, because they also think that is the mark of success, or that is the mark of fulfillment and happiness. But where you get to have proper self-awareness, I don't know why I'm preaching Bobby's gospel, proper self-awareness and the appreciation, then you will never settle for anything less, regardless of what you are given, regardless of what the other person will bring out in terms of material. You can be as very fulfilled in your one-room house, one-bedroom house, two-bedroom house, knowing that the other person sees you as a human being, appreciates you for that, wants the best for you and the best of the version that you can become.
Wow, Bobby, I see Bobby don't do that. Bobby do not.
Iko na mawaidha usijali.
Bobby acha nikwambia, nimekwambia leo ni wewe nategemea. So Bobby, kiukweli tuonge tu reality saizi vile mambo zina happen. Saizi kila mtu ana venye mademu huongea, hata maboys huongea like mi lazima mtu anipange. Language siku hizi ni do, language siku hizi ni material like mi kuna life yenye nataka kuishi, kuna vitu zenye nataka. Mi kama mtu anipatie do, tunasaidiana na yeye nini. Siku hizi I feel like we are tying this love thing, let me put it in quotes, this love thing to material things. Is that the truth on the ground? Ama utaagree na CJ na Ken? Manze, don't go. Reality
leo ni kwa the QT of the
leo kwa mimi ni represent juices hapa siwezi choma.
Well, first of all, the tagline, when you ask, does true love really exist? Am I not a manifestation of love? When you sit next to me, don't you feel love when I walk into the room? When you see me, when I give Ken all those hugs he complains about, don't you feel the love?
Oh, we truly feel the love.
Yeah. And I ask that because Kenya tu si before nianze kudisagree. Kenya si amesema.
Kwani disagree?
Okay, si kudisagree, kuleta mawaidha zingine. Kenya tu si amesema. Hizi feelings zote ndo uweze kufika place una understand vitu tunasema kwa panel. Lazima ukwe at a space where you can even understand these things on a very, like you can make the information palatable to yourself. It has to be in bite-sized pieces that you can take in even before you start thinking, can I love Ken? Can I love CJ? Can I love QT? Do you even love yourself? Do people feel love when they see you? Do you even know what love is? And the only way to feel these feelings is Kenye Ken amesema, by putting in the work and actually showing up and actually loving yourself, because we throw around this word like it's just something that itakupata. It's like when we're talking about happiness and you think, you know, one day when I buy a car, one day when I move into a house, one day when I travel, these things are not destinations. They're not things that are going to hit you at 50. It's not something one day you'll be 60 years old and then you'll wake up, oh, finally, the love is here. The love and the happiness and the joy are things you cultivate every day consistently in the small things that you do. And then one day you wake up and you're like, wow, my house, my home, my friends, When CJ was speaking, I was just thinking about my kitten. And her name is Honey. And I was just thinking, Honey,
Mama
Asali. Thank you. Because she's really, really sweet. And I was just thinking about Honey, and I was thinking, okay, I was also thinking about my mother, because this is other places I express love in ways that don't need any masking. You know, with my mom, I can be sick, neza kwata sija brush meno, she'll just love me the same way. Neza kwa sijui niko aje, but we love each other the same way. And you can say it's because she's your mom, but I always mention that even with her, I had to create and fix and make a relationship. Relationships don't just occur spontaneously. Happiness and love doesn't just happen one day. It's something you actually have to wake up and put in the work, even with your son, your daughter, your parents, everyone around you. And you asked me the question about, is it vitu tunaona mtandaoni? Is it really love? And mbona siku hizi relationships ni, it's like, tumefika point, utanifanyia nini kama sipati? Na mina, nataka sijui kama nikurudishie swali, lakini isn't the other party also looking for something from us? We are all looking for something, whatever it is. Even your husband, even if he marries you and he does a rura show and goes to your house, he's there because he wants something from you. Hakuna zero conditions. We all want things from each other. Yeah. So I'd like, first of all, to start from a place where I'm saying, I'm requiring women to keep asking for more. I need women to know what they want innately and be open about it. It's okay for you to want whatever you want. If you want a car, I'm telling you, somebody that will buy you a car exists. The only issue is, kuna mtu anacheka kwa back. The only issue is, if it's coming from entitlement, if it's coming from a space where you don't even know how to provide these things for yourself, then that's a problem, because kumbuka tumesema, kila kitu tumesema, hata Kenisija amesema, it all comes from self. For you to require anything, you have to know its worth and you have to know what it is you need. So there's no problem with you wanting all those trips and posting them for us. It's just, you need to make sure that you're happy, because unaweza post vitu zote lakini unaprovia nani kama mimi sijali. Mi hata sengine si watchingi stories, naikanga tu simu hapo alafu ina play na naosha vyombo, vitu zina play. So kama sijaona, sita feel anything. So I'd say it's very, very okay for you to have things that you want, because the only relationship that is unconditional is the one you have with your child, or like now me and Honey, because I don't need Honey to do anything. I just want to see her healthy and thriving. And I think that is a very, very true definition of love. But even for yourself, even from yourself, you find yourself loving yourself more when you keep your word to yourself, when you do the things you said you do, when you show up the way you are. You'll find most times when you're depressed, it's very hard to love yourself. When you're just stuck in bed, sickly, sad, tired, broken, it's very difficult for you to conjure up a space where you're able to love yourself. But when you wake up, you take a shower, you brush your teeth, you dress nicely, unapita hapo kwa kioo, unajiangalia, unaona, enyewe nimeiva. It's way easier for you to love yourself more. So I'd say, human relationships are largely symbiotic, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just you need to be in the spaces where you're giving and you're receiving, not just waiting to take. And I like to push for people to enter relationships with the mindset of, what am I giving? What is it that I'm putting into this relationship? So yes, while people are still coming from a space where I want this, I want this, I want this, hizo spaces zenye watu wako. Kuna spaces zingine zenye watu wanajengana. Kuna spaces zingine zenye, hizo zenye watu posti online. Ken na CJ wamesema hata hao wapostingi vitu za online, but we know they're coming from happy homes, so you can wonder, okay, maybe I'm guessing.
Very,
I hope. I also come from a very happy home, but yeah, with honey, and we're consistently happy, well fed, and very, very. Okay, my definition of love is, backing up what CJ said, it's when you want to see something thrive. It's when you want to see something bloom and blossom and be the very best version of itself. You're not going to feel that way if you're taking. You're going to feel that if you're pouring into. And I'll bring honey into the discussion again. I'll be going home and I'll think, wacha niende ninunue omena za 50. Sifikiri hani atanipea nini ama atanifanyia nini. Mimi nataka tu akule ashibe afeel poa, alale juu nikimwona tu hapo amenona anasikia poa, mimi niko happy. That's the only thing I need. I care about, making sure the vaccinations are, done in time, making sure she's healthy, making sure she's, eating a good diet. Why? Because that's what you do when you love someone. This is how you spot the people who love you, even within your groups. The people who are consistently taking. CJ nisaidie na ka agent 2K nisaidie. Ujaifanyia CJ anything. Hata ujaika kusikiza tu CJ usikize stories zake. Sometimes, and there's something CJ told me, actually, that's what he told me. That's how he said he measures the people in his life who care about him. CJ has and I'm exposed. He told me he has friends who have nothing. Yani they can provide nothing for him. But these people have showed up for him in ways that no one else, even who has money, can show up for him.
Yeah, true.
And that's how he's able to tell, this is someone who actually cares about me. So venye tu tumesema, love will look like the things that you lacked. And largely, that's also what our love languages are. If you're someone who lacked touch growing up, you become an adult who needs touch. If you lacked attention, if you lacked material gifts, if you lacked basic needs, mtu anakupikia ugali na sukuma unafeel ni kaya ni, your life has been transformed because that's the most basic way they can show you love. It's okay for you to want to feel love in any way. Kama love yako ni ya Dubai, kama love yako ni ya kuteka walk Uhuru Park, kama love yako ni ya kupostiwa Instagram, ama hizo calls 1 million za every text, what are you doing, what are you doing? If that's how you feel love, that is fine. It's just very good that you know it for yourself so that you're able to define it for yourself. But before you're requiring all these things from someone else, I'd say have a reckoning with yourself. Think about, neza hata jipeleka yo Dubai nione venye mtu feel akijipeleka. And then now you're going to be able to appreciate it more because you know the worth, you know the value, you know the effort and the time and the intention it takes for you to make any such plan and to see it into fruition. So I'd say, mimi sina shida na mademo nataka hizo magari, hata mimi nikipata na tunaenda nalo. Even tu sijapata. Watu wanashindanga kwa DMs msinisalimie. Niulize, can I pay for the flights? That is what will catch my attention.
Bobby.
Nilisema sitishi maua tena na sijui nini. Nishachana na maua.
Saizi ni flights na?
Flights, hivi Kayad, can you go to the Kayad? Things like that.
Na honey.
Amen.
Honey is well taken care of. I don't need a stepdaddy for her right now. I just need to show her love.
Napenda venye umemalizia.
Yeah.
Hivyo ndo vile inafaa. But Ken, how and when did we get here? Because, I mean, hizi vitu kitambo, watu wakuwa hata na hiyo pressure. Mtu tu alikuwa tu anakuja, unapenda mse venye yako. From zero, actually mnaanzia ka bedsitter kenyu, mnalala chini. Saizi, ulisikia wapi, bedsitter gani, tunaanzia chini wapi. Saizi vile Bobby amesema usinisalimie, mimi nataka kupeleka kaya, nataka kupeleka. When and how did we get to this place yenye tuna feel like we are entitled, like, hey, Buddha, iwezi, kama usiniongeleshe, kama una kakitu saizi, kaa kando tafadhali. Make space for others.
I would say, ata kitambo, people would still wish and yearn to get into love with somebody who can add value to them or to their lives. I remember even having discussions with my mom and her sisters and my grandma. They would all talk about when I was growing up, this is the kind of family I would want to get married into. Because you look at the success, success sometimes is contagious. You get married to a successful person, as long as they are ready to do the work with you, then you equally become successful. Nobody wants to come from a family that you cannot even thrive. Yeah? I keep on saying, maybe I have never said this, but allow me to say this. If you have a broke father, that is none of your problems. But having a broke father-in-law is your choice. Because you did not take your time to learn how this person is. And brokenness here does not necessarily mean financial.
Yes.
It could also mean people who have never experienced love, they don't know how to love. And so you will start teaching people so much. You go and you look at somebody who you want to date with, and they are a lot of work. Nobody is ready to do a job for an adult. How did we get here? Is we are no longer now being contented with the bare minimum, because we probably have seen our mothers and their sisters and brothers on how they contented with the bare minimum and ended up being paupers themselves. You know, in Africa, I don't know what gives the impression to parents that when you're bringing up your child, you're bringing up them so that they can take care of you when you're growing older, that you use your money on them so that when they have their money, they use their money on you. We have never taught our children that my money is my money, my children's money will become their own money. So it's not them now to come back and start taking care of me. And if you look at most successful people, the reason why they are not successful is they have to go back and start to bring their parents also up. They work so hard, but when unfortunately you get fired or you retire and you have nothing to show, your family members will be the first one to laugh at you. Like, oh, you've worked so hard, you are a big shot in a company, but look at yourself, forgetting that they had to go back. And so people now started becoming woke and say, hey, I won't allow myself to go that direction. I want somebody who can be able to help me to get somewhere far. I like what Bobby was talking about, that if you want somebody to take you to Dubai, can you afford Dubai yourself? You cannot even afford to go to Dumberi. She's not any Dubs. You can't afford to take yourself to the barest of the minimum. And now, when you look at women became material, men became people who want to show off with the trophy women. I think CJ has talked about trophy women here. I like listening to his gospel. Yeah? In the era of filters and makeup, what you see online is not the reality. Kwa ground vitu ni tofauti sana. So what will people do? And this is why now we are having a lot of online love, which is not real, because we are sexting each other, we are doing all our dating online. When you have to do the physical meetup, I don't know whether you've ever seen a video that was trending of mnakutana na dem kwa picha yeye ni mweupe. In reality, yes, si mweupe. Unashanga, am I talking to the right person? Until you have to call their phone, achukue useme, oh, so it's you. Kwa ground, we have learned how to mask so much because we want to attract what is not our value. We are putting on value to ourselves that is not the real value. And we are making people go overboard and overwork, all in the in the manner of wanting to meet your standards, but some of these standards are not real. How many, hey, sijui nitumie hii example. CJ ni yetu hapa ameokoka sahi. You go to a club, you find some boys taking some very expensive liquor, and all you ask them is, can I pose with your liquor? I've seen it happen.
It happens.
You want to pose with somebody's liquor. Ama chupa tu zinakuja. Correct. Ebu leta nini sitasema juu we are not representing any brand here. Kuja. Tupigwe picha tu nayo. Alafu iende, irudi.
Happens.
And you cannot even afford hata kama ni tot moja. Why? Whom are you trying to please? And it's the high time people started to learn there is nothing as important as self-love and self-acceptance. You take yourself the way you are. Yes, it's okay to want more, but if you cannot get there yet, stop it. Stop fantasizing and wishful thinking. Fantasies will never help you to go anywhere. They'll just make you look at your life and think, hey, I'm not doing my life the way I'm supposed to do my life. Don't listen to Bobby saying that she wants somebody to take her to the car yard. Her class right now has assisted her to get there. Has your class assisted you to get there? Are you working on yourself so that nobody will come to complete you? Somebody is coming to compliment you. Nobody will come to complete you because they will look at you like a project. And a project you can always demolish. Ukianza kujenga nyumba na uone msingi haiko sawa, if you have the money, you will say, rather than to build and it cracks, why don't we go back to the drawing board, demolish everything and do the work again? How many people are ready to do the work with you? If you're not ready to do the work yourself, allow the people who can get QT to go for QT. Stop working too hard to compete with everybody. Because in a situation where 7 men are competing against 1 woman, what will that woman become at the end of the day? A player? So that she can be able to meet the needs of this XYZ. But rather than love 7 different men differently, why can't you love 1 man in 7 different ways? You show him love this way today. Today is the time to go for holiday. You know, I was telling the two of you when we were dating, back then, and it's not far, 2010, when I was dating my wife, we couldn't afford nothing. But at least we could afford to spend time together. We would come and walk all the way to Arboretum. By the way, whoever started kulipisha Arboretum ameharibia watu maisha sana. We need to rethink that strategy. Because there are people who cannot afford.
Free, eh?
Love was free. And you go together and start watching Monkey. Imagine discussing Monkey. Are we even having such time to discuss such things? No. We are making love such an expensive affair, and people who cannot meet those standards are thinking less of themselves. Please live life according to your own way. Do not use another person's manual to describe love. Do not use another person's manual to determine how you're going to love your own love. Even Adam did not get a manual from God.
True that.
And he ended up loving Eve. And even when Eve alikosea Adam, walisort out problems wakiwa peke yao. But now hii ya kuenda, nasikia siku hizi hata watu wakikosana. You don't want kusikia anaenda kuambia watu nini. Unaenda kwa WhatsApp status kuona ameandika nini kukuhusu. We need to stop all this. We need to do things our own way. Don't do things how people are doing things. Because when you copy, you will forever depend on another person's script.
True that.
But when you do it yourself, it's going to be easy to sort out problems.
True. Yeah. Sure. I love what you said. Love imekuwa expensive. Siku hizi hata huwezi peleka mtu tu kapak mahali mkae chini. You have to attach money to it. And I love what
CJ, unaweza lakini usitake kupeleka Robata na Robata
haendi park.
Unatafuta mtu wako. Usiende Robata utete women, endea tu mtu wako.
Mtu wako mwenye ataconcept venye uko. I love what CJ posted the other day. Not everyone who claims to love you actually does. Most people only love what you represent and how it benefits them. By the way, I follow you, CJ. I follow everything that you say on social, but I don't know if I drink. But honestly, I want you to talk about that. And also, is it okay for me as QT to want all these things that we are talking about from someone? Is it okay for me to want to be in a relationship with someone and he provide your lifestyle, cars, traveling, the expensive lifestyle? Is it okay? And then kindly you expound on this thing that you put on social media.
It's okay to want everything in life. It's just crazy to want it from one person. Having desires and aspirations is a very good thing. But then again, it's what has been said, you know, Bobby likes talking about that. You're not doing this for yourself. Why would you place it on somebody else? So your desires, your expectations of having a better life, that's very valid. You can work into that, or the two of you can build and grow into that. The problem is when you have been doing nothing with your life, and then suddenly I'm supposed to give you this whole life in 3 weeks, which you have not been able to give yourself in 30 years. I mean, you've not done this. You plus your family couldn't afford this in 30 years. You expect me to give you in 3 weeks. That's a bit warped. That's a bit warped. So even when you're coming together with somebody in a relationship, it's okay to express, the things that you would want, because that's your vision, that's your goal, that's your dream. This is what you're building towards. But then, are you willing to build towards it? Are you already building towards it? Or are you going to sit, fold your hands and say, let this person provide this? That's when it becomes very, very transactional, because then if I'm giving that to you, I also begin to feel like I need something that will match up to that level. And this is where we begin to have those kind of cases where, when people break up, or if somebody feels like I'm giving all of this to you and then there's somebody else in your life, it gets very crazy. We've had very crazy situations around those. Now everybody comes in with entitlement and they feel they own you because you owe them. They gave you all the life that you have. That's not how it's supposed to be. I feel it needs to start from a point of a very basic interest in each other. So that if I'm doing this for you, I'm doing it from a point of the appreciation that I have for whom you are and me wanting you to become a better person. Not because when you came to the table, you demanded that. And when I put it there, so I wanted to know, what are you giving me in return? That's where the respect is lost, So people don't treat people as human beings as well. It's both sides. I mean, some men come in and they have a certain expectation of this woman. So then the woman will begin thinking, okay, what am I getting in return? Because it seems like you're getting everything that you want. You want the intimacy, you want somebody to take care of you, cook for you, do all of this. So they start thinking, well, this looks like a JD. So what am I getting in return? Because when you go to work, you need to be paid. They're not feeling the energy of you being interested in them as a person. They see that the role you play is what they're very interested in. It's like having, and I'm mixing the two of them while answering what you said. It's like having a friend who, even when you're not very okay, they'll not check up on you. But then they'll tell you, Cutie, we missed you yesterday at the bash. You normally bring life. So they're not interested in Cutie, the person. They're interested in Cutie, the one who brings life to the party. So whether you were broken, you're hurting, you're sick, that doesn't really matter to them. And when you get well, the very first thing is, I have this event, can you come in and bring the life to it? They've not sat with you to find out what space you are in at any one point. If you're not performing, they don't call you, they don't text you, they don't want to come close to you. But when they feel that you're in the place where either you can bring numbers to them, you can bring life to them, they'll relate with you over that. And a lot of people who are in spaces like yourself will face that a lot, where people just want to use you. They want to use what you represent. They're not interested in you as a person. This is how people lose jobs and find that they have no friends. Because the people who surrounded you were people who wanted you to buy drinks for them. They were beneficiaries of your resources. The moment your resources are cut off, you realize your phone goes very quiet, very silent. Nobody talks to you, nobody chats with you, nobody checks up on you. You are not invited into spaces because it wasn't you people wanted. It was what you represented, the opportunities, the resources, the face, the name. And that happens a lot, even for some people, even at their family levels, where they just realize even their family members no longer talk to them in the same way, same manner that they used to talk to them about. So I think it is okay to want a better life. It's okay to want a higher life. This is why we wake up every morning going to work, because we want to better our lives and for those who are around us. But it is not right to put this expectation on one person and you're doing nothing about it. If you're going to do this with somebody else, you've got to work together. Now, even if they're the ones providing the money, what value are you bringing into this to ensure that they also feel they're not being used? That's the whole thing about it. I know we all get used somehow, but it should be willful use, where I offer myself to be used. I shouldn't feel like I am under pressure to be used. I shouldn't feel like, because that now becomes abuse, I shouldn't feel like that. I feel that most of these things should be an overflow of the relationship, the friendship, the conversations, the respect, that you just wake up and feel like, oh, yeah, Cutie said she needed this, and I can actually get it for her. And I don't feel the pressure, and I don't feel like you owe me for whatever I've gotten for you because I am so connected to you that what you want to make yourself better, I feel if that can make your life better, I want to get it for you. So if a car will get you to where you need to go, I'll get it for you because I am interested in you. But if I'm just doing the car, then the day we're no longer together, I'm coming for the car.
True. And Bobby said that.
Yeah.
Oh, people come for them in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Car truck, a
Kuna
pop.
mtu alitishwa meno juzi. Where?
Okay, Bobby.
You had to.
No, you just had to.
It's a relevant example.
Bobby, as we are wrapping up this conversation,
Yeah.
you talked about knowing the things that you want, knowing everything that you want, self-love first, and then expressing that to someone else. What if you don't get what you want from the person? You might love this person, but you're not getting all these things that you want. What happens then as we wrap up this conversation?
Let me say something nice about men.
Before they come for the car.
Oh, and women, it applies to both to
ways.
everyone, but like as a woman who dates men, something I've learned about men and something I know innately about women is that when they're in love or when they truly care about you, the manifestation is evident. You will never have to, almost never have to ask. Asking is just if they don't have that information. But otherwise, they will do the research themselves. They will go and find out. And I like what CJ said about your example, ya gari. Imeni touch. Imenifanya ni feel very vizuri sana. Because it's true. Let me tell you, you don't need to say anything.
Yeah, you don't
Your
even
man
need to
will
ask.
see you ukipambana na manduthi hapo kama Roberta and he'll be like, baby, yani mpaka saizi bado nduthi, let me fix this. And he'll just fix it. You won't even have to beg and ask because it's coming from a foundation, a space you guys have already created of I care about you.
Yeah.
Yani to the point that even hata kama hakupendi ati yuko in love na wewe, just the fact that you're in their life and they care about you enough to notice small things, they're going to make your life better. It's going to come from a space of I care about you. I love also the example CJ gave about, feeding the hungry. It doesn't have to come from love. It just comes from, I've noticed there's something missing. Why? Because I'm very aware. I'm very present in this situation where I can notice you're hungry. I have a friend who doesn't hang out with hungry people. Akiona tu unakaa hivi kidogo njaa, immediately anaenda kukununulia chakula. Immediately.
Wow.
Sasa ingine naezanga kupretend ni sijakula lakini nishakula. Ataona hii lakini thank you for feeding always. But my point is, when people care about you, you hardly have to even speak. You hardly have to tell them about it. You'll see this in the relationship with your mother. You'll see this in the like me and Honey. I don't need to be told Honey needs milk in the house. Mimi kama mtu mzima ndapitia tu kwa duka hapo kwa Njeri nichukue kama maziwa na niende home na maziwa yangu ya Honey. So that is what happens when people care about you. They want you to thrive. They want you to excel. They want you to be the best version of yourself consistently. So I'd say when you're looking out, even for the circles that you're in, even your workplace, utaona tu supervisor wako manze anakuputingi on, makeup artist ana making sure you look the best, stylist yani people watu wanakujenga juu wanataka collectively ukuwe the best. Sijashai tupele example ya venye watu wake hawezi wacha pande nduthi juu wakiona tu hivi hana gari. Wanna make sure Mr. CJ is in a nice car, So it's care. It might be in the small things. It might be very negligible. Sometimes you don't notice. Sometimes you wake up and sometimes it's personal. I make sure I brew my morning coffee for myself before I leave the house. Why? Because it'll keep me warm. It'll make me feel good. I have a really beautiful cup that I love to show off. So all these things together make me feel nice about myself. Why? Because I love myself. I can choose not to do it, but because I know it's an extra step that gives me a better day, I will wake up 10 minutes earlier to make sure that I've done it for myself. So please, look out for these things where people want you to be the best version of yourself. They want you to thrive. They want you to look good, feel good, to be happy. But I'm going to still bring it back to self. Nakwambia saizi, wacha niangalie kamera directly. Kama haujui hii feeling, itakuja na itakupita. Kama haujui feeling your love, appreciation, showing up for yourself, being aware, being present even enough to appreciate yourself, someone else will come into your life and they will do it for you and you will never be able to see it because ujazoea. You don't know it, you don't know the value, you don't know the worth, you don't know the effort and the time it takes for you to even show yourself this kind of love. So I'd say, as you wake up every day, make sure you're doing the things that make you feel the best about yourself. And in turn, it also raises your standards because if you brew a coffee for yourself, when someone brings you a coffee to the office, you'll be able to know, oh my goodness. Yani miwa mka 10 minutes alia nijifanyie na wewe umetake your time kunifanyia. You can see the kind of love this person has for you. Na saizo ni sachet ya 20 bob na maji yenye amechota kwa tap. Are you going to say that's not love?
It is.
It is. Kuna mtu anaweza kubaia pia ya restaurant yenye ni 700 bob ama 800 bob. Hakuna yenye ati easy love ni love. Inamaanisha tu. When people love you, you will always be able to feel it. You'll always be able to tell because, and I always say this, even if you guys are fighting, when you guys are at loggerheads, you'll never be able to question, does CJ love me? Ata CJ asiponiangelesha 1 month, najua mkimuamsha 3 a.m. umuulize, how do you feel about Roberta? He will say the most beautiful things about me. Why? Because it is consistent. I see it all the time in the way he speaks about me, even when I'm there, even when I'm not there. I feel it even just by sitting right here next to him. So please, love yourselves in the ways that, I say this every week, but let me just insist again. Love yourself in the ways that no one else can ever love you. Give yourself things that no one can ever take away from you. Hizo kazi sijui nini. Mtu hawezi kuja kukuzimia gari kwa katikati ya Mombasa Road aseme shuka kwa hiyo gari yangu na unirudishe iPhone yangu. Kwa sababu hata akikwambia hivyo unashuka kama umeenda kwa kaya unaenda unachukua ingine na unaenda unajibaia simu ingine. Why? Because you understand what it takes. You know what it takes for you to show up the way you are. Don't compare yourself to anyone online. We're living very different lives. We're consistently masking. Even I myself can admit I don't post the bad things. I only post the beautiful, nice places I go. Hizo vitu zingine si lazima mjue. Si lazima mjue natumia stove ya makaa kwa keja. Utajuaje? Huwezi jua, just I post. Lakini nikibai kuka ile ya 6 whatever banners, lazima nitapost ndio muone nimeomoka. So yeah, love yourself extra, treat yourself really well, and remember to laugh. And I love Kenya. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. Umemalizia vizuri. Thank you so much. What I just say is that know what you want, do it for yourself before you actually ask or need the other person to actually do it for you. We wrap it up like that. Thank you so much for always keeping us company on Daybreak. And remember, same time next week, same place. Big up Mr. Josh, our #1 fan, for always listening in. I love you, Dad. Au sio? Tupatane kwenye Radio Citizen 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Tutakuwa pale tukisikiza reggae. Thank you, guys.